Okay, I want you to tell me, you are from the United States, and you came all the way from the United States to come here. Why did you come from the United States to come here?
Well, after in my junior year of college, I went to study abroad in Argentina and Peru, and I fell in love with South America. And when I went back to the United States, and I had a huge reverse culture shock. Because I feel like in South America, because many times people don't have the material success or the ease of access to achieving material success, they have to find other ways to generate happiness.
That's right.
And so the happiness usually comes from relationships, friendships, family, engaging with the area around you, learning new things like arts and music and culture, less than like the new car that you're getting or how much money you make. So there's also negative things to that as well. But when I went back to the US, I saw that like everybody was working and running so hard to just try to get the best job with the most power, the most money, but all of them were unhappy.
That's right.
And so I decided, you know what, my most important goal is to live a life of happiness and purpose. So instead of going down the corporate path, I studied entrepreneurship and international business. So instead of going down the corporate business path, I said, you know what, I wanna move to South America.
Okay.
So I graduated from school and I started researching where to go. And at the time, Brazil was just surpassed the UK as the 7th largest economy in the world. The World Cup was coming, the Olympics were coming, all the major global events were coming to Brazil. And it just seemed like it had everything that I was looking for, like beautiful nature, incredible culture, amazing music. So I bought a one-way ticket to Rio, and I've been here for 12 years ever since.
What?
Yep.
12 years?
12 years.
So when you got here the first time, what was the experience?
When I first got here? Yeah, so when I first got to Rio, I had prearranged a work exchange. So I came here with $1,000 in my bank account. Because I just graduated university with a bunch of student debt. So I had $60,000 in student debt. And so I sold my golf clubs for $1,000 and I moved to Brazil with that money. So I didn't have the luxury to be like traveling around and partying and doing whatever. So I did a work exchange where I stayed at a hostel and I worked 30 hours a week in the reception for a free place to stay and breakfast. And then on my spare time, I would go around the city and try to figure out, okay, what kind of business can I create here? How can I create a life here? But my objective really was, how can I leverage my privilege as a white Jewish male from the United States to provide other people with the opportunity to access all of the abundance and privilege that I've had in my life. So that was really the goal. It's like, how do I align my passions, the things that make me happy, the things that I'm good at in Brazil, in order to achieve success and also sustain myself. So that first week, like everybody was like, don't go to the favela. Favela is dangerous, and don't worry about living in Rio, just don't go to the favela. And based on that, I decided to go to the favela immediately. So I walked into the favela by myself, and there was like police officers with guns, and there was drug traffickers in the alleyways. And I realized, it's like, okay, those aren't the people I'm going to try to connect with. And but then there was these kids playing soccer, and I was like, I played soccer 15 years. Like, that's where I'm going to make friends. So I went there and started playing football with the kids. And before you knew it, they're taking me to their houses. They're showing me around the community. And I ended up spending the whole day in the favela. They're giving me food. They wouldn't take money for anything. And then I just started to go back to the favela every single day. And that was it. So, and then that turned into basically my life here ever since.
So, the first time you went to the favela, seeing things that you haven't seen it maybe before, how were you feeling?
I didn't feel scared because I knew that I was not a threat to the people that were there. Like, I have no problem with the police because I'm not doing anything illegal. I have no threat to the drug traffickers because I'm there to learn and to help their community. So, and I also had no money, so it was like, what are they gonna do anyways? Take my hat or something? It's like, I have nothing to lose either. So I wasn't concerned about that. And as I started to meet and engage with the Brazilian people, the favela people, they're so friendly and welcoming and warming, and I felt so comfortable immediately there with them. Like I felt more comfortable than with the rich people in the nice neighborhoods. Like there, people don't look at you in the eye. There, people look at you like you're doing something wrong. But when you're in the poor neighborhood, it's like everybody's equal. Everybody's just trying to like live their life and get by. And so I started going to different favelas all the time. And since then, I've been to 150 favelas in 4 different states. And what I discovered was that the favelas are full of amazing people, entrepreneurs, artists, musicians, creatives, and that there's conditions of challenge, right? You have a very difficult situation with minimal resources in a short period of time, and you have to figure out how to survive. That's the life of an entrepreneur. And so people in favelas are entrepreneurial by nature, especially the women. So I figured, okay, if you can take those people and you can give them access to the resources, the knowledge, the money, the ideas, the space, the partnerships, all the tools that we have at our disposal in the developing country, they would do amazing things with that.
Amazing things. Yeah. That's right. That's right. So, are you having any projects that you are helping the community?
Yeah. So I've created 5 different organizations since I lived in Brazil. The first one is Favela Experience. Okay. So it's a social impact tourism company. Okay. We create B2B travel experiences, working with global travel agencies, universities, and corporations from all over Brazil and the world. And we work in more than 10 favelas throughout Rio de Janeiro to create experiences that bring together local guides, social projects, entrepreneurs, and take people through the community tied to a specific theme in a way that breaks down negative stereotypes and generates income for the favela. So that goes from like working with the University of Toronto, bringing down their MBA students who are studying finance to come to the favela and volunteer for favela startups, teaching them finance over 3 months of time, and then doing this in an exchange, online and in person. That's one example of what we've created. We also have a tour that happens every Sunday. We have people that come from all over the world, and these experiences generate income for more than 6 different groups or communities of families from each favela. So since then, we brought 7,000 tourists from 46 different countries. Wow. We've generated over $400,000 in revenue in favela communities, and we were a partner of the Rio Olympics.
Man, I'm so privileged to have you. You know something? Because of what you have told me, I will come to favela again. I'm coming to Rio de Janeiro.
Yeah, man, come visit us.
Yeah, and I'll come and visit you guys.
Yeah. You can come and you can come and stay. We have a place you can stay.
Thank you so much, man.
Just let me know.
Thanь you so much.
Yeah.
Before I leave, I'm going to get your contact, and man, and I know that when I come, you can show me better things in favela more than what they showed me.
Yeah, absolutely. Because tourism is just a mechanism for telling stories.
That's right.
And connecting people.
Yeah.
And people originally would say tourism in a favela is not responsible.
Yeah.
Because you're making poverty into tourism.
Yeah.
But that's only when you look at the favela as a place of poverty.
Yeah.
When you look at the favela as a place of abundance.
Yeah.
Like if I said to you that I want to go on a tour to Paris, you wouldn't be like, oh, you can't go on a tourist to Paris. That's a place of scarcity. You wouldn't say that.
Yeah.
So if we truly believe in equality, then we should treat the favela and Paris exactly the same. And we should take people to those communities. Of course, we have to be sensitive to those communities and do it on their terms. And tell the story the way that those people want to tell it.
For me, I see favela to be one of the biggest place for tourism. Every country creates something to be a tourist. And if people want to know how their lifestyle is, it's also a tourism.
That's right, exactly.
At the same time, it's not only creating money for the community, it's creating money for the country as well.
Exactly.
Anyone who lands at the airport pays something, and also creating employment for other people as well.
That's right.
So man, I see favela to be homeless, one of the best places to live.
Yeah, and then, the thing is all about connecting with the people who are from there.
Yeah.
As long as you're walking in the favela with somebody who's from the community, then it's safe.
Yeah.
Until people get to know who you are.
Yeah.
Right? Because they don't know who you are.
That's right.
And historically, there's a history of of people taking advantage of the favela, of people taking advantage of people for cheap labor. Most of the people that occupy favelas are descendants of either African slaves or of northeastern Brazilian immigrants who are coming and looking for work and were then taken advantage of and had their land stolen from them. So these are people that culturally carry a sense of distrust. And anybody comes in, they have to gain that trust first before they can actually do anything.
That's
there.
right. It's like someone coming to your house, now you don't know the person. We have to first of all interview the person. Who is this person? Who are you? What do you want? So it's the same thing.
Exactly. So this is what we've done with tourism, and through that process, I realized that tourism is amazing, but it's limited in its capacity to create long-term impact. And so that's why I created a non-profit organization called Favela Inc. And we're an incubator, and we develop ecosystems of impact. We help support entrepreneurs and social projects.
I'm gonna get all this link, and I'm gonna put it at the subscriptions so that anyone who's also interested to just help or to partner or to support, they can also just
anybody that wants to help out, they can either come and purchase one of our experiences and come and see the favela for themselves, or by donating to our organization, you're helping us invest in favela entrepreneurs, invest in social project leaders, so that they can continue to help the favela go into the future and become self-sustainable and become the protagonist of their future.
Thank you so much, bro.
Yeah, my pleasure.
Thank you so much. God bless you. I'm so touched that you said you sold your golf to come to Brazil, because in the United States, a lot of people think that Brazil is dangerous. Even they told me that, man, I want there's one doctor in the United States that he want his son to come here, but he think that what he's hearing, the government is saying that it's dangerous. Even the Americans shouldn't take a bus. Americans that shouldn't take a bus for a long journey because it's dangerous. They should always take a flight. But I travel everywhere in this country by bus.
Yeah, well, I mean, you can either choose to take advice from the government, who doesn't go anywhere on a local level, has never seen anything, and is just taking a suggestion from another government and sharing it to people. Or you can take advice from people who have actually gone to these places, been to these places. Look, I brought 7,000 people from 46 different countries. We haven't had a single security incident. So what is more real about if it's safe or not? That, or some listing on a government website that says dangerous, And if we live our lives scared of everything, then we're just going to make sure that the world continues to be disconnected and that stereotypes continue to proliferate, because stereotypes come from a lack of a willingness for people to look at each other as equals.
That's great. 7,000 people to Brazil.
Just the favela. To the favela.
Just to visit favela.
Just the favela. 10 favelas with not a single security problem. Not one time did we have a tourist get robbed. Not one time did we have somebody get hurt. Not once. And not only did a lot of these people come and visit for a day, but many of them came and stayed at my hostel, because I had a hostel in the favela. And we had thousands of people come and stay and live in the favela for months at a time.
Wow.
The first business that we created at Favela Experience was a network of homestays in Rocinha, which is the largest favela in Brazil.
Yeah, that's where I went.
250,000 people in 1.5 kilometers. And we took 10 different local families, we taught them hospitality skills, and we brought people from 25 different countries to come and stay in their houses.
So can people come with their children just to come and stay in there for maybe a month or a week?
Absolutely. No problem.
Okay.
No problem.
Man, thank you so much.
My pleasure.
Thank you so much. God bless you, man. Man, we're going to link up.
Just get started.
I'm getting started, man. Thank you.
With the bone.